Okay, one second, I'll hide this. Okay, so okay, so all these days we were discussing about the structure of brain, the structure of spinal cord. We have seen the peripheral nerves, spinal nerves, and one second. Okay. Uh, you can do the text messages privately if you want to do. Like any queries, you can do here. Okay. Uh, okay. So we were discussing about the structures. Okay, structures of brain, the different structures in the brain, and functions, their functions, and we have seen the structure of spinal cord, and we have seen the spinal nerves and cranial nerves, and how they form the tracts, etc. Now we are going to the functions, another type of functions, the formation of tracts to carry sensory information from different parts of the body and to carry the motor information or motor commands, rather say motor command. It's a command. Motor command from the cerebral cortex to different parts of the body. Okay, so we have different types of tracts. So collectively we have divided it into sensory tracts and motor tracts. Okay, sensory and motor. In the sensory itself, we have spinothalamic pathways, spinocerebellar pathways, etc. Okay, so all those we will deal, and today we are going to deal about the spinothalamic pathways. Okay, it's a sensory pathway, or another way it is an ascending pathway. It goes upwards. Okay, an ascending pathway or a sensory pathway, or again it is what do you call a spinothalamic pathway. Okay. Okay, so here the senses can be divided into general senses and special senses. Okay, the general senses, for the general senses, the receptors are distributed throughout the body. Okay, over a large part of the body, there is no specialized receptors. Okay, I mean a particular type of modified nothing. Okay, generally all over the body it is distributed, but for the special sensation the receptors are located within special organ. And one more peculiarity, it is all the special sensory receptors are located in the highly protected area of the body, the head. Okay, and also the general senses located on the skin, the receptors which are located on the skin, muscles and joints are called somatic sensations. Okay, the sensations whose receptors are located on the skin, muscles and joints are called as somatic sensation. Examples are touch, pressure, proprioception, temperature and pain. Temperature, cold and warmth. Okay, so these are the somatic general sensations. Okay, and today we are going to deal the somatic sensations. Okay, and the receptors, there are the general sensation. Another class is visceral general sensation, and their receptors are located within the viscera on the internal organs. Okay, and they are mainly pain and pressure, and they are carried by the cranial nerves, parasympathetic branches of the cranial nerves. Okay, parts of the cranial nerves. And so, and the special senses, as all of you know, the main special senses are smell, taste, sight, hearing and balance. Okay, so we have senses which can be generally divided into general senses and special senses. And general senses again somatic senses and visceral general sensation. And for somatic, the receptors are located on the skin, muscles and joints. And for visceral, the receptors are located in the internal organs. And special sensations, all the sensory receptors are located inside a particular organ. So for the smell sensation, the receptor is located inside the nose, in the nasal epithelium. And for taste, it is located in the taste receptors. Okay, one second. Okay. And for hearing, the receptors are located within the ear, in the inner ear or in the organ of Corti. And balance also, it is present inside the inner ear. Okay, so these are the general idea of the sensations. And now we have to see. So I told you have to see the somatosensory and somatomotor pathways in the spinal cord. All the pathways, sensory pathways, they ascend through the spinal cord. Okay, they origin from a receptor and then ascend up to the brain through the spinal cord. Okay, and motor pathways, they origin in the brain on cerebral cortex and descend towards the effector organ, usually skeletal muscle or a gland, usually skeletal muscle, skeletal motor pathways. Okay, they descend through the spinal cord. So we need to see the structure of the spinal cord, and you have seen already, you have seen the basic structure of the spinal cord. It has white columns and white matter and gray matter. Okay, and here the white matter, which it carries the sensory informations, or the sensory tracts are falling in the white matter, and gray matter, it consists of the motor neurons, motor cell bodies of the motor neurons. Okay, and now we'll see, you can see here, this is a posterior white column. Okay, posterior white column, lateral white column, and anterior white column. Okay, posterior, lateral, and anterior white column. Okay, so here in the posterior white column or dorsal white column, you can see another the bundles of two bundles of axons. Okay, so medial to the posterior sulcus. Okay, medial to the, this is a posterior sulcus which divides the spinal cord into two halves in the posterior aspect, and this is the anterior fissure. Okay, in which divides the spinal cord into two halves by anterior in the anterior aspects. So medial to the posterior sulcus, the bundles are called as fasciculus gracilis. Okay, fasciculus gracilis. These all terms you just remember. We are going to the tracts in the next slides. Okay, and lateral, okay, laterally to the gracilis, fasciculus gracilis, and nearly medial to this dorsal root, you can see fasciculus cuneatus. Okay, this is called as dorsal white column or posterior white column. Okay, they carry touch, pressure, vibration, etc. Root touch uh, sensation. Okay, vibration, pressure, all these sensations are carried, or those axons. Okay, the neurons carrying those information, their axons travel through this posterior white column. And now you can see the lateral tract. Okay, the lateral tract, lateral spinothalamic tract. So this means this is formed by lateral white column. It is from the spinal cord towards the thalamus. Okay, so you can name, from the name itself you can identify whether it is a sensory or motor, or the sensory tracts are ascending tracts from lower part to higher region. Okay, so this is lateral spinothalamic tract. So this is formed by the lateral white column of the spinal cord. And this lateral spinothalamic is very important. It carries the pain and temperature sensation. Okay, and then comes the ventral spinothalamic tract. Okay, ventral or anterior, it can also called as anterior spinothalamic tract. So this tract falls in the anterior white column. Okay, anterior white column, and the axons are passing through the anterior white column of different spinal cord segments. Okay, and this carries like fine touch, tickle sensations, tickling and fine touch sensations. Okay, and Other, you can see the descending tracts or motor tracts as well. So motor tracts we'll discuss in another session. Okay, now today we will discuss the spinothalamic tracts or spinothalamic pathways. Okay, for the general somatic sensations. Somatic sensations. We have seen three tracts. So we are discussing three tracts today. So dorsal or posterior column or posterior spinothalamic tract, lateral spinothalamic tract, and ventral spinothalamic or anterior spinothalamic tracts. Okay. So, okay, sensory pathway. So usually, so first of all, you should have general ideas. What is the sensory pathway? Okay, a sensory pathway carries sensory information which is identified by the sensory receptors throughout the body. Somatic, okay, somatic sensory pathways. Somatic sensation from the body. Okay, not inside the visceral organ. Okay, general body and carried from different parts of the body to the cerebral cortex. Okay, final destination is cerebral cortex. Okay, and okay, and it passes through the spinal cord. Okay, so these sensory pathways or these neurons, the axons of the neurons, they form bundles of axons and called as nerves. Okay, these nerves, they travel via the different spinal cord segments, and that bundles of axons we call as tracts. Okay, we call as, here we call as columns, and it is termed as tracts because it carries or it travels a long route. Okay, and uh, sensory information and reaches the cerebral cortex for the conscious awareness. And most of these somatosensory pathways which carry somatic sensations include three sets of neurons. It is not the same neuron which innervates the receptors. They carry all the way towards the brain. Okay, it is not that same neuron, that it is not that long axon. It carries from the receptor and then reaches the spinal cord and carries all over the other spinal cord segments, pons, medulla, to the cerebral cortex. It is relayed. Okay, it is just like a relay running. It is one person, it hands over the baton to the other person, and then next, like that 4 or 5 persons will be there. So it is like there are three sets of neurons. We have three sets of neuron: first order neuron or primary neuron, second order neuron or secondary neuron, third order neuron or tertiary neuron. Three sets of neurons we have. So first order neuron is the neuron which innervates a receptor. Okay, a receptor, a particular type of a receptor, maybe pressure receptor, temperature receptor, or a vibration receptor, whatever it is. Okay, so first order neurons means it innervates a receptor. Second order neuron, that synapses with the first order neuron. Okay, so first order neuron is synapsed, that convey its impulses to another set of neurons called as second order neurons. And third order neuron or tertiary neurons are those which synapses with the second order neuron. The synapsing regions or the points, synapsing segments, synapsing points or regions may be different. Some first order neurons synapses with the second order neuron in the spinal cord itself. Some others, they make synapse in the medulla. Okay, that depends. Okay, but usually tertiary neurons, they arise from the thalamus. Most of the sensations, tertiary neurons arise from the thalamus. Okay, so that's why thalamus is considered as the relay station of all the sensations. Okay, except smell sensation, all the other sensations have a relay station in thalamus, have a nucleus in the thalamus for a relay. Okay, so these are the sets of neurons that we have to deal in the next segment, next sessions. Okay, in the somatosensory pathways. First order neuron which innervates the receptor, second order neuron which makes synapse with the first order neuron, and third order neuron which makes synapse with the second order neuron. And now these are the major pathways we are going to deal today. The major somatosensory pathways. Okay. Ascending pathways. It is called as ascending pathways. It is also called as spinothalamic pathways. Okay. So first one is posterior column medial lemniscus pathway or posterior spinothalamic pathway. We have seen the section in the spinal cord cross section just now. And anterior spinothalamic pathway, lateral spinothalamic pathway. All these you can see the name spinothalamic from the spinal cord or through the spinal cord towards the thalamus. Okay. And the last one is trigeminothalamic pathway. This has no bundles in the spinal cord. So, okay, it is in the trigeminal nuclei. So it is called as trigeminothalamic pathway, but still it is a somatosensory pathway which carries somatic sensation, and it is an ascending pathway. Okay, it is going upwards to the brain. Okay, so these are the pathways. So we'll see posterior column medial lemniscus. Medial lemniscus means it is again bundles of axons which is present in the midbrain. Okay, bundles the corresponding to the posterior column of the spinal cord. Bundles of axons are seen in the midbrain, which is termed as medial lemniscus. Okay, so we are seeing this one. Okay, see this one. Fasciculus gracilis, which is medial to the posterior sulcus, and fasciculus cuneatus, it is lateral, or you can see closer to the dorsal root. Okay, now we'll see here. So this posterior column medial lemniscus pathway or posterior spinothalamic pathway. Okay, posterior spinothalamic pathway. It conveys impulses for. So we are studying under three headings like origin, course, termination, and their functions. Okay, so it these are the functions. It conveys impulses for touch, pressure, vibration, and proprioception. Conscious proprioception. Proprioception means these are the information from the joints to give you the idea of the position of the body. Okay, from the limbs, trunk, neck, and posterior aspect of the head. Okay, not the entire head, the posterior aspect of the head. Limb, trunk, neck, and posterior aspect of the head. Okay, so here it is again two tracks are there. You can see two lines, two tracks are there. Okay, one is from the lower part of the body and the other is from the upper part of the body. Okay, so this fasciculus gracilis, we have seen the fasciculus gracilis here. It is also called as tract of Gall, and the cuneatus is also called as tract of Burdach. Okay, tract of Gall and Gall, tract of Burdach, Burdach. Okay, Burdach. And we'll just, but it is universally, it is, we call them as gracilis fasciculus and cuneatus fasciculus. Okay, so we'll see here. You can see this is from the lower part of the body. Okay, this segment you see lumbar spinal cord segment. Okay, this is from the lower part of the body. Okay, so from the actually from after lumbar segment there should be a thoracic segment here, but for the easiness or to express more easier way, we have shown only one. Okay, so we just representation is required. Okay, so from lower part of the body, the sensory receptors for touch, pressure, vibration, stereognosis, and proprioception from the lower limbs and lower trunk, they detect these sensations or these changes, and that sensation is carried by the first order neuron which innervates them. Okay, so this is the dendrite of the first order neuron, and this is the cell body. Okay, so this is called as posterior root ganglia. Okay, or posterior root ganglion. Okay, posterior root ganglion. So cell bodies are lies within this area, and these are the axons of the first order neuron. Okay, so this is a first order neuron itself. So these axons, they form the bundle or the pathway. Okay, this is the cursor. Okay, this is the pathway. The axons, they form the pathway. So the axons of the first order neuron enter into the spinal cord segment and enter into the gracilis tract or gracile fasciculus. Okay, gracile fasciculus of the spinal cord segment which lies in the posterior white column. Okay, and then ascends upwards to the next spinal cord segments. Okay, through the posterior white column itself, or through the gracile fasciculus itself. Okay, through the next spinal cord segment. You can see here this is cervical spinal cord, and it ascends through the gracile fasciculus of the other spinal cord segments, goes upwards, and then reaches the medulla. You can see the medulla. In the medulla, we have a corresponding to the gracile fasciculus, you have gracile nucleus. Okay, so this is the termination point. Okay, so this axon of the first order neuron ends here. Okay, so the tract ends here, or means the termination of the spinal tract. Okay, and here this is the spinal tract. Okay, and ending here it makes synapse with the other set, the second set, or the second order or secondary neuron. And this secondary neuron or second order neurons cell bodies are lies within the gracile nucleus in the medulla, and their axon crosses the midline to reach the opposite side. You can see it crosses the midline and reach the opposite side, and ascends again through the gracile nucleus of the opposite side, and then through the pons and midbrain. Midbrain, you can see the medial lemniscus, the bundles of axons, medial lemniscus. It enters the medial lemniscus and then ascends upwards through to the thalamus. Okay, and in the thalamus they make synapse with the third order neuron, and there is a particular nuclei in thalamus consists of like dozens of nuclei. Okay, so here this particular nucleus called as ventro-posterior lateral nucleus. Here it is written only ventral posterior. Ventral posterior has got two division, ventral posterior lateral and ventral posterior medial. So here ventral posterior lateral nucleus is the relay station for the this tract. Okay, and one more important note information is for all the somatic sensations. Okay, for all the somatic sensations from the body, not from the head. Okay, from the body, the nucleus, the relay station in the thalamus is ventral posterior lateral. So for further pathways also you can use the same VPL, ventral posterior lateral. Okay, so from the thalamus, tertiary nucleus, a tertiary neuron or uh, third order neuron extends to the somatosensory area of the cerebral cortex of the postcentral gyrus. Okay, somatosensory area, this we have seen during the Brodmann area. Okay, somatosensory area. So this is the posterior posterior column or posterior spinothalamic trackway for the touch pressure vibration for the lower part of the body. And just see from the upper part of the body. Okay, you have seen the cervical directly enters into the cervical section, and see here it enters, same thing, the receptors innervated by the first order neuron, and the first order neuron enters into the spinal cord segment via the dorsal root. You can see the dorsal root ganglia or posterior root ganglion here. The axons of the first order neuron, which forms the tract, enters into the cuneate fasciculus or bundle of a bundle of cuneate. Okay, cuneate fasciculus, and ascends upwards and reaches the cuneate nucleus of the uh, medulla. And in the cuneate nucleus, they make synapse with the second order neuron. Axons of the second order neuron crosses the opposite side cuneate nucleus and ascends upwards through the midbrain. The medial lemniscus of the midbrain reaches the thalamus. Okay, so this is like the origin is from, if it is from the left side of the body, the termination is on the right side of the body. Okay, crossing over or decussation. This crossing over is called as decussation. Okay, so here decussation is at the level of medulla. Okay, and tertiary neurons arises from the ventral posterior lateral nucleus of the thalamus and extends up to the primary somatosensory area of the cerebral cortex. Okay, so here the origin of these pathways, there are two pathways, both the origin is in the dorsal root ganglion, because the axons of the first order neuron arises from the dorsal root ganglia. Okay, dorsal root ganglia is the origin, and the course, in the course it is the axons of first order neuron. Okay, because it is formed by the axons of first order neuron in the posterior white column, in the posterior white column, in the gracile fasciculus and in the cuneate fasciculus, and they are formed of uncrossed fibers. Another important, uncrossed, they are not crossing anywhere in the spinal cord level. Okay, they are formed of uncrossed fibers. Okay, and the termination point of that spinal tract is at the medulla, the gracile nucleus and cuneate nucleus of the medulla. Okay, and decussation or crossing over occurs at the level of medulla after synapsing of the first order and second order neurons, and the decussation is done by the axons of the second order neuron to the opposite side. Okay, they ascend up to the ventro-posterior lateral nucleus of the thalamus, where they meet the third order neuron to make synapse, and that extends up to the cerebral cortex, primary somatosensory area of the cerebral cortex. So this is regarding the what do you call, spinothalamic path, posterior spinothalamic pathway. Okay, the function is touch, pressure, vibration, conscious proprioception from the limb, trunk, neck, and posterior aspect of the head. And you have seen two types of tracts or which carries particular informations, particularly from the lower part of the body and upper part of the body. And the origin is in the posterior root ganglia. Tracts lie in the posterior white column of gracile fasciculus and cuneate fasciculus, and they consist of, the tract consists of only uncrossed fibers of the first order neuron, and the decussation and ends in the medulla. And after reaching medulla, makes synapse with the second order neuron, of which the axons makes decussations or crossover to the opposite side and reaches the opposite side thalamus and extends to the primary somatosensory area of the cerebral cortex. Okay. And now we see the anterior and lateral spinothalamic tract. Anterior, it is together we call as anterior lateral, but they are two different pathways. Okay, two different pathways. We have to study under two different headings also, but it is more closer. We have to show little together. Okay. So we'll see here anterior lateral spinothalamic tract. In that, anterior spinothalamic tract conveys impulses for each and tickle sensation from the limbs, trunk, neck, and posterior head, while lateral spinothalamic carry impulses for pain, cold, warmth from the limbs, trunk, neck, posterior, and head. See, pain from the body, okay, not from the head. Okay, pain from the body, it doesn't consist of the face. Okay, posterior, not posterior aspect. Okay, so pain from the face and pain from the body you have to study differently. So this lateral spinothalamic is for pain from the body, pain and temperature from the body, cold and warmth for the temperature. Anterior for itch, tickle, and fine touch, also fine touch. Okay, from the body. Here, see the first order neuron which carries first order neuron which innervates the uh, receptors. See, I'll discuss first anterior. Okay, anterior. First order neuron which innervates in receptors for the itch, tickle, and fine touch from the body, enters the posterior root ganglion or dorsal root ganglion, and the axons enters the gray horn. You see the gray horn here. Okay, in the previous one it was not entering the gray horn, it was directly entering into the white column. Okay, here it enters into the gray horn. You see here it enters into the gray horn. Here a nuclei called as chief sensory nuclei. Okay, chief sensory nuclei. So the first order neuron, the axons of the first order neuron make synapse with the chief sensory nuclei in the posterior gray horn with the second order neuron, and the second order neuron okay, second order neuron, axons of the second order neuron crosses the opposite side through the anterior white commissure. This should be noted, through the anterior white commissure. Some pictures it is showing other pictures through the gray commissure. Okay, this is for lateral, not this one, this one. So this through the anterior white commissure, it enters the anterior white column of the opposite side of the spinal cord segment. and ascends through through the anterior white column of the other spinal cord segments. Okay, adjacent spinal cord segments, crosses the medulla, midbrain, and reaches the thalamus. And the same ventral posterior lateral VPL, ventral posterior lateral nucleus of the thalamus. Here it makes synapse with the tertiary neurons, and tertiary neuron extend up to the primary somatosensory area. So here you can see the head, the titles. Origin of this, the tract you can see here, spinal tract is this one. So the origin of the tract is in the chief sensory nucleus of the dorsal gray horn or posterior gray horn. Okay, so origin is in the posterior gray horn, and the course is by the second order axons of the second order neuron through anterior white column. Okay, this is the anterior white column, through anterior white column by the crossed fibers. Here they are crossed fibers. Previously you have seen first order neuron and uncrossed fibers. Here the tract course is formed by crossed fibers of second order neurons axons, and termination is in the thalamus. Okay, ventral posterior lateral nucleus of the thalamus, and from here it extends up to the primary somatosensory area. And now so the function is to carry each tickle and fine touch from the body. Okay, from the entire body. Okay, and then comes the lateral spinothalamic tract. I think we will discuss lateral spinothalamic tract and other pain carrying pathways together. Okay, so today we have seen the two tracts, posterior spinothalamic pathway or posterior column medial lemniscus pathway, which carries impulses for touch, pressure, vibration from body. Okay, so the origin of this pathway lies in the posterior root ganglia. The tract is formed by the axons of first order neuron, which are uncrossed fibers, and termination is in the midbrain. Okay, and they run through the posterior white column. And for anterior spinothalamic pathway, you can see here anterior spinothalamic path. This is shown gray commission. That's why I've not shown this one. Okay, anterior spinothalamic pathway. The origin is in this carries fine touch, itch, and tickle. The origin is in this is the first order neuron, and which makes synapse with the second order neuron in the chief sensory nucleus. So origin is chief sensory nucleus in the dorsal gray horn, crosses to the opposite side. So the course contains crossed fibers of second order neuron in the anterior white column. Okay, termination is in the ventral posterior lateral nucleus of the thalamus, and tertiary neurons extend from the thalamus to the primary somatosensory area. Okay, so this is about the spinothalamic pathways. Okay, the spinothalamic pathways. So we'll see the other spinothalamic pathways in the next class. Okay, so I think we can end. Okay, I think we can, it's time also, it's only 1 minute left over. So in next class, next Monday, we can discuss the other spinothalamic pathways and trigeminothalamic pathways and their functions, pain control, everything we'll see in the next class. Okay, thank you all.